Well, I hope you guys keep subscribed to my channel. I appreciate every one of you guys. In today's video, the other side's gonna look like this. Alrighty, I've got my oxyacetylene, my hammer, my impact with the extension, the wobble, the 1 1/8 I need, my Torx 25, my brush, my WD. I do have some tools on here too. I have my needle nose, my pin remover, a single pick, wire cutters, side cutters. You're going to need these. And then I have a 19, which I believe is the studs. I'm not sure. I don't know why I have these ones on here. Maybe I need them, maybe I don't. Anyway, right now we're going to get into this T25. Make sure I'm taking them off. And get this done. And I believe one's broken off right there. So go ahead and just pop this thing off. Oh, it wants to stay there. This ring really wants to push off. And when you know, but they like lithium grease, the other guys that had this truck. I'm just gonna put this right back down here. What I'd like to do is put that right there so I can start putting everything in it. Last couple screws, but ain't no big deal. I can always find the screws later on. So this is gonna be a little tricky. So one, you've got this keep right here. So you pull this keep out. That's what I need my pick for. So pull this keep out right here. Don't lose that, very important piece. Now, you can take this rubber off if you want. Doesn't matter if you do or you don't. This is where it gets tricky, and this is where I'm going to mount you guys. Right here, and hopefully this works, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So the camera's going to move around a little bit more because you guys are mounted to my chest. So I'm going to get my pick and my pliers. Maybe need those. Oh, look at that. That actually worked. Didn't even need a pick. So just make sure I'm on those. Yes. So here's the trick with these, okay? You don't just squeeze them together like I've got right now, if you guys can see that. You actually have to push them together and then push in while you're trying to get this thing out. Hopefully I can get this in. There we go. Just like that. So if you don't, I don't know why, if you don't push this in, it doesn't release. But when you're getting these things, once you put them together, you have to push them. And I don't know if that's what actually makes it unlock or what. But, oh dear God, do they ever have a lot of... Oh, I don't want to move. This is why I don't like taking stuff apart like this. I take this so I don't lose anything. And in the order of stuff, there we go. I should be wearing gloves. All right, let's get off my seat. I like this almost live view, huh? I'm gonna try to do this and unedit it. You guys need this. See that, puppy? All right. So we get that keyed in there. And right there, like that. Are you kidding me right now? Well, there it is. That should not be super tight. Oh, wow, this one is though. There we go. Give it a good smack, and why'd that stop? There better not be a retaining ring in there. Let's just stop right there. Why did it just stop? Why did that just stop? All right, hold on a second, boys and girls. Oh, pausing it. So right now my struggle is there's a pin right here, the clip. I just got it to slide, but I can't get it to release. So this is going to be my struggle for now. So stay tuned, I'll let you know when I get this thing out. This thing's going to be a bugger because I can't tighten this thing up anymore, and I think this thing's kind of riding on that. Yeah, it's going to be a pain. Well, that clip inside there, you can see that or not, this retaining pin is probably taking me 20 minutes to bend out of there because it's seized in there pretty good, and I'm using my picks to, there we go, to dig it out. And did I just drop it? Is it out? Did I just drop it? Yep, there it is. That little guy right there was missing on the other side, and this one here is bent pretty good. So I may need to replace that one. And normally I wouldn't advise doing this, but I use the impact just to do this. So that's all I wanted to do, was use it to loosen it back off, because this piece right here, if I can get it off, that guy right there was holding tight and it didn't want to go. And there's a little chunk of metal right there. So that guy goes right there. And this one here's gonna come out. He's gonna go, oops. That guy's gonna go right there. Then this guy's gonna go right there. And now, hopefully these guys right here will come out. So I'm gonna put you back in my mount here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I'm gonna get my picks in here. Take this one out. Now this one here is the one that's supposed to catch on the pins. This one here on this side though, I know for a fact is broken. This guy right here. So I'll go ahead, put this key back in there. And so this right here is supposed to have a pin on it. And you can see right there, there's supposed to be a pin there, and that pin is sheared off. So this is actually why this four-wheel drive on this side doesn't work. So I'm not sweating that. Now, in any kind of luck, there we go. All right, that bearing right there has been repacked, so that one's actually probably decent. The one on the back side, and this thing's full of grease. All right, what I like to see here is the fact the seal is still in place, which is good. The other one is shot, and this bearing right here also, yeah, I'll just leave it in there. He's pretty good too. So that's off, that's off. Now what I've got to do is go ahead and try to clean all this stuff out right here. And first I got to knock this off, and that one's got a rotten cotter pin on it. Then I want to do that thing right up there. That's got a cotter pin on it, no big deal. And yeah, let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is put a battery on this and wire brush all this stuff here out. You guys don't need to see this. As I do this, wish there was just a pause button I could hit here, but there isn't. So I'm just going to jump ahead here. Like I said, polish these up here, get all that cleaned up, and get that cleaned up there as much as I can too. And just a note, guys, when you're doing this, make sure you note where your caster camber settings are on this. This might look way off, and it probably is, but when you guys take this apart, and I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get these things out. At least it worked on the other side. Hopefully it works on this side here. I just didn't capture it on video on the other side. You'll see that when it keep watching. So I'm going to break these off. I don't care about the cast, whatever. I probably will have to drill this one out though, because I am going to reuse this one This one here I don't care about, so I'll just break these ones off and be done with it. But these guys here, obviously, I want to save this, so I gotta clean these things up as best I can, and I'm going to spray them with a little bit more of my trusty WD specialist stuff, and we'll go from there. All right, stay tuned. All right, now that I've wrapped my knuckles off this thing a couple times trying to clean this, got these cleaned up, got that cleaned up, got that one cleaned up. So now I'm just going to go ahead and then I can help when I go to take this stuff off. I'm going to just get it on the threads. Same here. I already know this stuff creeps like crazy, so get this thing nice and wet too. Let that stuff freeze in there. Get that all the way around there because I want to free that as well. And this thing is going to turn us free. Oh, now I got it tied up on the other side too, so I'll have to get in here and blind spray that stuff there. Universals, spray them for lubes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and knock this guy off first. So what I'm first going to do is take my side cutters. I'm going to see if I can pull this thing through. Somehow I doubt it, but we will try. And I have to break these off to get it to come through. And it will. So, all right. Can I grab this? No, I can. Oh, finger's in the way. Ha ha! Look down at the camera in time. You guys got to see finger. Oh, it's sliding. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's sliding. Oh, that's such a good. Oh, I love that. Woo! It's always good news, man, when she does this. Yeah, you guys don't want to watch this. I said that just as I did this thing snap, but hey, she's out. Good. That one's out. In pieces, but she's out. So same thing here. I'm going to knock this one here off and see if this one comes out in pieces, because I know for a fact I can't get it on this side. So I'm going to try to straighten this thing out here and then see if I can't start to push it that way. If not, doesn't matter. When I hit this with the impact anyway, it's just going to chew through that. All right, so put you guys back on my chest mount. Boom. Come on. Don't you hate it when your gun doesn't go in? Now she's off, and oh, you gotta love that. And I'm just gonna leave that nut on there a little bit. And here comes the fun part. Oh, this where it sucks. I should have my bigger hammer. This hammer here keeps the handle keeps sliding off it. And my tank's in the way. Move. Oh, for crying out loud. You know, when you make it so you don't want to move around a lot, the stuff's in your way. I should get my other hammer. Oh, you guys can't see squat there. Just fell. There we go. Couple good swings. That's gone. Now I can take that off. Of course, I don't want that thing just dangling. So I'll go ahead and put this back on here. And before the end of the day, I'll tie this one up like I did the other side, so it's just not sitting there. All right. And let's get to see all the rusty crusty sound. That stuff's all built up on the inside here. And of course, the axle's got to come off. So I'm not going to bother doing this one right yet. I have to turn around and try knocking these guys off. So what I've been doing with this is wrong size. Uh-oh. I don't know what size I am. Hold on. Trusty 16. It was in the shop. Had to knock the last nut out of it. That's why I was sitting in the shop. Anyway. All right, so I'm back sitting on my stool. My trusty little hammer here. And if this thing goes over that, that would be fantastic. And no, it does not. Nope. So I have to hammer this thing above it. Ow. It should just hammer right on. And when I hammer this on, I hammer it down all the way, because if you don't go all the way, you can strip it out. Thing about this is, every one of these as I have to do this to, I then have to take my socket inside and beat the nut out. All right, that's that. I don't need my wobbly on there. Just grab my short extension. Put that on there. All that does is give me room to have my gun here. And again, I don't just hit stuff. I'll play with it like that. See, now I know it's going to turn out. So, and she's a little wobblies. So, oh yeah, look at that, she's smoking. She's hot already. All right, now I'm going to put this back on here. See if I can just knock this thing off. Because if I can, that'd be fantastic. It looks like I have to take this inside the shop and bang it off. Oh, maybe not. Yep, I do. Anyways, I got to do that with each one of these guys. Each and every one of them. Got to be like this. And some of them I'm going to have to tape back inside. But you guys get the gist. There she is. So I got to knock all these things off and then knock this thing loose kind of and pop that thing out. You'll see what I mean. I don't mind telling you, I had to pound every single one of those off and walk back and forth for each one of these ones to knock the out of my socket. What a pain. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is start tapping on this thing here to loosen this up, and hopefully that thing there just pops right out there easy enough. I always try really hard not to hit the you don't want to hit those threads on that for sure. She's starting to separate. You can see her separating right there. It's giving her shocks. I'm not whacking on it hard, just enough to try and break it loose. Because obviously if I'm holding this thing by hand and it's moving, it's more or less just sending shock waves down. Just don't hit these threads. Don't hit these threads. You would have thought this thing would have been loose by now. Almost out of there. Yeah, it's nice having my tools back at my house, but man, it's still a pain in the butt going back and forth. Anyway. All right, that's out. that side. This is where you actually had an air hammer. It would come in real handy. I just said hammy. Ah, it'd come in real handy. There she goes. She's out. Yeah, she's free. All right. Oh yeah, so that spindle right there is free. A little rusty crusty. This side is different than the other side. Well, see what's up. Can I pull this axle out? Oh, I sure can. There she is. Yes, sir, Bob. Ah. All right, axle's out. Woo, beautiful. This is coming along. Get in here and clean all this gunk out of here. Get that thing cleaned up. See how dry that looks? Here, let me give you. Can you guys see how dry that looks? In there? On top of those threads? I am most likely going to have to heat the crap out of this thing anyway, like I did on the other side, which you guys saw in my other video. But I'm just showing you guys that you guys can do this with normal household. I mean, not everybody has oxyacetylene, and so far I haven't had to use it. I'm showing you guys everything I've had to do so far. If you've got tools that I don't, obviously it's a little more handy if you're closer to your shop. Mine's way over there, so it's definitely way handier. I do have a light in case I need it. But yeah, so right now I'm going to go ahead and knock this guy off, wherever that socket went to, and I'll do that next. So the other side was 1 1/8 inches, so that's what I had. This side is 1 1/4 inches, and I don't know. No, it's a little sloppy. I think it's still 1 1/8 inches on the bottom, but that's pretty crusty. So anyway, I'll put that guy on there, and I might have to knock it on. No big deal. Knock that on there. Boom, like that. Where's my impact? Right there. I got a shorty extension on it. Just trying to get that thing to turn actually, so I can get it in there. Come on, get in. All right, hold on a second. All right, so it's in. So go ahead and just. Nuts inside. Got it. So no heat yet. I've hammered that little guy on there because it's a little tight, a little rusty. Go ahead. Let's see with my shorty and my wobble if it's enough to maybe get this bottom one free. We'll see. Nope, just bounced right off of it. Ah, frustrations. Well, I'm at an impasse. That's not 1 1/8 inches, and it's not 1 1/4 inches. And I don't know if they did standard on that or not, or metric on this or not. Let's go check. Well, it looks like this one is going to be oxyacetylene, and it's going to be cutting that off. I kind of hate to do it because I risk damaging the material around it. But I should be able to be okay if I've got enough room here, and I should be able to blast it up and out without a problem. Thing is, I'm wearing very holy shoes, and I'm not about to burn metal and melt metal with these things on. So I'm going to go inside and put my boots on, get my gloves on, turn her all up, go ahead and blast this thing out. And with any luck, I might be able to get this one off today in this video. So far in the comments, are you guys finding this informative and helpful? Just wondering, because this has been a almost 20-minute video. So yeah, anyways, I digress. Let's continue. So I actually don't need to save the threads on this thing at all, right? Because I'm replacing it anyway. I don't really care if I scar this stuff. Like if I'm cutting through here and, you know, kind of blast at least half of this off so I can knock it off, I'll probably be taking that off too. So anyways, I'm just going to get right into it and grab this and start doing it. I'm not going to record all of this just because the time. I'm already 20 minutes into this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this thing off, and I'll come back when I'm done with this. All right, stay tuned. All right, a little water to cool everything off. There's a lot of slag in there, but that should be enough, hopefully, with the slag and stuff. And yeah, anyway, that thing's coming up this way anyhow. I just have to get it out of here. So, all right, now I'm going to show you a little trick. If I can, with that thing being loose like that, I might have to grab my other hammer. I do not know. But when I was whacking on this thing to get all this stuff loose, these guys right here started to pop up. I might have to grab my larger hammer. I don't know. Let's see. And I did it again. You guys see that? Did it to the other side too. Brand new fenders. Put a little nick in the other one. I just creamed this one. Whatever. Yeah. Go grab my other hammer. My big one. Oh, banging away at it. It's not moving. So I'm going to get more of that slag off, I think. I'm just going to blast that whole thing clean off. And yeah, hopefully if I blast all off with that heat, and I'm not going to cool it off this time. I'm just going to blast all that off. That's going to be all nice and hot. Then I think if I whack this, this should actually just drop down. So that's what I'm going to do now. Well, with a little persistent banging in that same spot, and I did blast that thing clean off. Right there, as you guys see, there's the chunks. Blasted it all off, and it doesn't appear like I did any damage to it. Nope, no scarring to that whatsoever. Look at that. That is, oh sorry, no scarring to that whatsoever. That is absolutely gorgeous. Great news. Let's clean up all the mud in here. Yeah, I wonder what these guys were doing with this truck. Well, anyways, all right, boys and girls, that's it for now. I'm gonna call it done. That thing's gonna be hot as heck, so I'm gonna dump water on that, and stay tuned as I begin. My next step is, however, even if I get the ball joints pressed back into this thing here, I can't put it back together again because I have to take that apart back there because my pumpkin is leaking, and I don't know if you guys can see it through there or not. Right down through there, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's wet. So I digress. That is the end of the video. 23 minutes later. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you guys found this informative and helpful. If so, let me know in the comments. If I didn't, if you guys want to see something else on it, let me know. But yeah, so this is it for this. I'm gonna go ahead, I will pound these guys out and pound in the new ones. I did a short video on that. Well, I did a video of me showing you guys pounding me out, and then I did a short of how I actually used my spacers for my bearing kit. But I learned a lesson on that because I didn't put the crown on this, and even though I was doing it every time the socket bounced out, it actually was chafing up the top here, and I didn't realize that. So lesson learned. When I go to put it back on, I'll put the crown on this when I'm pounding them back in. I'll do the same thing for the bottom. But yeah, anyways. So that thing there is gravity bleeding. That's what that's called. It's draining brake fluid out. So anyways, I digress. That is the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Again, hope you guys found this informative and helpful. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.